Welcome to the Danny Clinkscale Reasonably Irreverent podcast. Insightful and witty commentary, probing interviews, and detours from the beaten path.
Welcome to Danny and Stan's football weekend. The week is here. The Chiefs hit the ground in Miami yesterday, sporting Kansas City Chiefs red Hawaiian shirts, kind of in honor of Andy Reid, who usually wears that type of thing. Meanwhile, the coach was making a statement with a business suit. Here we are on a business trip. When was the last time you saw Andy Reid in a business suit? But he certainly hopped off the plane with that. Well, he kind of walked off the plane. He didn't hop off the plane. I don't know how much hopping Andy Reid does. Last week was kind of about soaking in the Lamar Hunt Trophy and soaking in the feeling that Kansas City sports fans haven't had for half a century, that of being in the Super Bowl. Now it's time for analysis and getting ready for the big game on Sunday. Maybe at this point in time deciding how you're going to spend that day. Chiefs fans have always been able to just think about the party and not the game. Will they shun more party-ish activities so they can concentrate on the game itself? We'll have to wait and see. But one thing we know is it's time to talk football and time to talk it with Stan Weber. It'll be interesting to see how the game that he developed is showing this Super Bowl. It has been pretty accurate in analysis of the playoff games and Super Bowls throughout the years, but also he brings keen analysis outside of the game that he created, of course. All that, as usual, with Stan Weber. No better person to break down a football game than Stan. We'll do it coming up next on Danny and Stan's Football Weekend right here. We're here with Joe Spiker, the president of Easton Roofing. And Joe, you worked for other companies in the construction industry. What inspired you to start your own company in Easton Roofing?
Well, you know, Danny, when you are working for somebody else, you oftentimes don't get to see the project through from beginning to end, and you don't get the final control over the customer experience. And I wanted to build a place where people can come and get work done on their house and not have to worry about being treated the wrong way and get a good customer service experience start to finish.
The company slogan is "Where Integrity Matters." Why is that so particularly important to you?
Well, for us, what that means is treating each other with respect at work, treating our clients with respect, and making the right choice, especially when no one's looking. So when you're presented all the time as a contractor with choices that have to be made, are you going to make more money on this if you cut a corner? And we just wanted to make a place and a slogan that said to our people and to whoever is our customer, we're not going to do that. We're going to make the right choice regardless of profit.
Easton Roofing, where integrity matters. Cinematic Visions has been an affordable solution for professional media production in Kansas City since 2003, offering award-winning video production and creation, as well as a wide array of digital and social media management services. From planning, scripting, filming, editing, and post-production, to delivering your product to a watching world, Cinematic Visions will provide professional and affordable services for you and your business with the necessary return on investment to make it all worthwhile. Cinematic Visions' goal is to unlock the power of storytelling through video and a strong online presence for your company. Beyond the numbers, they want to inspire and evoke your clients to feel and act. Let my friends at Cinematic Visions embed your brand where it belongs, in your customers' minds. You can find them online at cinematicvisions.com or with a quick phone call at 816-600-6300.
If you'd like to join these and other great sponsors and market your business to a growing and engaged audience, contact us at danny@dannyclinkscale.com. Look forward to hearing from you.
Stan, through the years, we have been regaled many times by the stories of your board game that you developed, and I'm sure that people who maybe were previous fans of hearing these stories on Friday were not all that thrilled, because on your appearance that you do every Friday on the Border Patrol on Sports Radio 810 WHB, you noted that you played the game 4 times now and will play it a few times this week. But as of now, the Niners are 4-0, and it's been pretty solid wins, right?
Yeah, it's because their offense has been performing at a high level. The Chiefs obviously are able to score points and do the things that you would expect, but the Niners have been able to control the game. With their passing is underrated. Now, I think just mentally that it's double or nothing. If they run the ball well, then the play action stuff comes easier. We spoke about that on your podcast last week, Danny, that a little bit like the Rams last year, if you can shut down the running game, then they're throwing play action off the running game isn't that hard to defend. I just saw a deal with sideline footage and audio of Bill Belichick during last year's Super Bowl, and he kept saying over and over again, as long as we get lined up right, they have no chance against us. We got this. There's nothing that they can do. Get lined up right and get our calls together. In other words, don't have miscommunication between the safety on the right side and the cornerback on the left. He just goes, if we get lined up fast and get our communication in line, the Rams have nothing for us. And I believe that is an insight to the fact that the Rams are somewhat one-dimensional. Everything has to work in the running game, and then they go off of that and make you overplay the running game. It's going to be a little bit like that with the 49ers. But from a board game perspective, it doesn't decipher that as well as it should. But in other words, I think the San Francisco 49ers offense is better than a lot of people give it credit for. I said on your podcast it's going to come down to Garoppolo. So far, Garoppolo has played well in the board game. But in real life, I think there will be a different level of stress if the running game doesn't work. I don't know if he's proven. Chiefs have the better quarterback. Chiefs have the better coach. But my respect level last week on this podcast, I think, was very high for the 49ers. Yeah, right. Very high. And I spoke more on Sports Radio 810 with the Border Patrol guys last Friday that I said my take on what I've heard throughout the week, because when I spoke to you, Danny, it's so early in the week, it's not affected by anybody's thought process. I mean, all the experts and people that I love to listen to, that I know, whatever you want to go down the whole list from I think they know what they're talking about to they don't, it doesn't matter. When you hear all those people, it's like, hey, that's a good point. That's well thought out. That's a different angle. Why am I not continually learning? I'm learning from every resource. But when I spoke to you last week, not affected by that at all. By Friday, when I kind of bookended it before we went to the weekend, I thought, boy, there's a lot of confidence around Kansas City that just we are winners and we are the 15 Royals and just things are going to go our way. We deserve to have them go our way. We've had some, those scares, like an NCAA tournament team that's standing there with a trophy, goes back to the third-round game and go, wow, we almost lost that Sweet 16 game. You know that thought process. But to me, it's a little more positive than it should be. You get a legitimate opponent. I said, and I stick to it, if the Packers were here, I would be doing the backflips as well and just holding my breath going, come on, man. The Chiefs should win 8 out of 10 times. Please don't tell me it's one of the other two. I know they could happen. Right. And Aaron Rodgers, but, man, the Chiefs match up well, and they're going to beat the Packers. I don't feel that way at the 49ers. It doesn't matter what the game says. Even if we play it 4 or 6 more times, I think I'll be reporting that we all leave not only with the results, but we watch what happens in the game as well. We talk about it like, oh, well, hey, yeah, the 49ers scooped and scored a touchdown on a 25-yard fumble return. I don't think I'm going to factor that into the game. We can adjust. Right. I think when we do all the adjusting, Danny, we're going to come back to 50-50. The guys left all coming in very confident, like most everyone I heard last week, and they left going, oh, well, my confidence level is a little different. I can't wait to play next week. I think hopefully the odds will start chanting. So there is a very big bias tomorrow. They want to see the Chiefs win some games.
I think that part of it is also that these guys have been playing this game for years, and in speaking with you for years, this game's been pretty reliable. That's probably why it's been shaking their confidence a little bit.
Well, the biggest one ever in recent modern history is the Denver Broncos, who with Peyton Manning rolled into New York, Super Bowl 50, I believe, in New Jersey, and they were lighting it up as well as any offense in history, and they played this Seattle Seahawks team. And most people come out saying, boy, I don't know why the Broncos are going to lose. Look at the quarterback. It wasn't the old Peyton Manning. Right, that was the on-fire Denver Bronco Peyton Manning. And it was just so hard to not say Denver. I think when I was with you, Danny, and Kevin on Between the Lines on Friday night, I'm pretty sure I said, I'm going to go with the Broncos because Peyton Manning's the quarterback and all of that. But our game the week before had predicted the Super Bowl. Like the Seahawks were running over the Broncos. I mean, smashing them by double digits, 25-point wins. And the only time the Broncos could win, let's say it was 5-1 or something in 6 games, the only time the Broncos won, it was like 31-30. And we just would not believe it. It's just a board game. That's what scares these guys because they went all to their Super Bowl parties and their jaws were dropping, and my phone, we didn't text that much back then. Okay, we had a group text, but it wasn't you. My phone was blowing up as the Seahawks were dominating the Broncos. Right. So when they walked in, they go, I'm really looking forward to playing the game, and I hope we don't have a Seattle-Denver result. They walked out going, well, I think we need to play the game a few more times because but I do have a new respect for the 49ers.
Right.
So, where do I stand? I keep thinking the odds makers have it right. You're talking about a dead even game. Bet on who you think's going to win, and I can't really tell you who I think's going to win so much by just fact in my head. But I have to say that Patrick Mahomes is more reliable than Garoppolo. And therein lies, I would say 55% chance of the Chiefs winning, 45% chance of the Niners winning. And that brings in the Mahomes factor and the bias of being here in Kansas City. If I were sitting in San Francisco, I think I would be dead on 50-50, scared of what Mahomes would do. But that extra 5% points to move the Chiefs up is truly quarterback coach, and I live in Kansas City, and I've seen Patrick Mahomes do it, and I don't know if Garoppolo is reliable. But to cover myself on the 49ers side, Danny, I said it last week, and I stick by it. If Garoppolo plays great, then I don't care how Mahomes plays. I've already factored in Mahomes playing great and getting their 30 points or whatever it is. That's fine. But the Niners can score 35. They can win 35-31. If Garoppolo is hitting his passes, and if it's 3rd and 7 and he makes a throw so they can get back to the running game, if he can throw when they won on some play actions, Tannehill did not do it. He did it on a couple throws early, and look how they looked when he did hit his passes.
Right.
And everyone says, well, it's the Chiefs' defense. And I'm going, okay, I'm giving their due, but I'm still saying that quarterback controls a lot of it. If he plays good, Garoppolo can fit the ball into places that Tannehill can't. The weapons they have are better. The running game's more reliable. They're better coached from an offensive standpoint, way better coached than the Titans are. I mean, you got a coach right now who knows how to figure out defenses, has a convicted strategy, and whose dad is his backbone going, don't get emotional in the Super Bowl and let this affect you. Here is the plan. You told me to plan on Tuesday night last week, and I'm coming back here 3 days later, and I'm going, stick to your plan. Danny, I think it's powerful. I think it's powerful when your dad's quality controlling you like that, teaching you what you're going to feel like this in the third quarter. Mahomes is going to start to overwhelm you. You're going to start wanting to stretch and change, and you told me this is your plan. I'm going to hold you to it. When you look up at the box and see me, I'm going to say, believe in the plan, believe in the plan. So I just think we got a much stronger coached football team than the previous two that the Chiefs have played, and we got a dynamic running game, a better defense, a faster defense, and a better defense against the pass. But here's a little positiveness about the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs, when they mix in the running game, can hurt the 49ers. And I think it's an option. So if you think Bosa's going to rush the quarterback a little too much, cause a little havoc, they do not put up a stone wall to stop the running game. So if it's an incomplete pass, 2nd and 10, you might start getting excited if you're a Niners fan and go, watch the heat on this, man. Watch our pass rush. I'm telling you, Danny, the Chiefs could run the ball. They can run the ball and get 6 and laugh and go, ha-ha. You may think it's Mahomes back there, but we can run on you. Now 3rd and 4, who's got the advantage on 3rd and 4? The Chiefs.
No
Always, everywhere, against everybody. So I think that's the good news here, is that the Niners are not a dominant defensive run defense. And that's going to give Andy options to take some of the pressure off the passing game. But if they don't get to Mahomes, he could throw every down. I mean, the Chiefs can throw every down and laugh if Mahomes is on fire. But I think they're going to have to dabble into the running game. The good news is it's there. There's no reason why the Chiefs shouldn't score. Without a dumb turnover or something, there's no reason why the Chiefs shouldn't get in the 30s. My worry is the Niners might get in the 30s also.
Let's, before we take our time out, why won't the Niners do what they did to the Packers? They ran it, and when it kept working, they didn't back off. In modern football, they just kept running it, and we saw something we haven't seen since the 70s, which is a quarterback in a big-time playoff game not even throw the ball 10 times. Garoppolo threw it 8 times. Why will the Chiefs be able to, or will the Chiefs be able to stop that from happening?
Well, I believe the Chiefs, Spagnuolo will coach the defense better. He won't accept what's happening to him. If they start moving the ball, he's going to take chances and say, I'm going to force Garoppolo to pass. And he has the variability to do that. And the biggest one is Tyrann Mathieu. Tyrann Mathieu can play like a linebacker but line up anywhere on the field, and if his responsibility is to get there, he will get there to make the play. So in other words, you don't show that I've got 9 men in the box. Okay, 7's normal. If they have a 2, the 49ers have a great tight end and a great fullback that block. Okay, this is very dangerous. They're very good with those 2 guys in. So if in normal formation, that's just a normal formation. We got 2 wide receivers, a tight end, a fullback, a tailback. That means 7 in the box. They'll bring 8 in the box. But the Niners are like, everybody brings 8 in the box. We're used to this. We can still run against it. The Chiefs will bring 9. But if you know they have 9, then you are really going to hurt them in the passing game. So you've got to disguise. And that's where Tyrann Mathieu becomes powerful, because he can line up and go, I'm playing cover 2, and then right before the snap, sprint up straight to the line and become an extra run defender. Chris Jones blows some things up in the middle. He might cause a little bit of havoc. Suggs is a pro, man. This is when he can show. This is when he can say, Super Bowl's not too big for me. I've seen it all. I'm going to blow this play up. I'm going to take a chance and do something even that the defensive coordinator didn't tell me to do, but I know is going to blow this thing up. So I think the Chiefs will cause a little havoc to the Niners, and I don't think they're going to have the option to run the ball all day and only have 8 throws, because the other correlation of this is there's going to be pressure from the Chiefs offense. And Danny, even if you think your running game's good, you're scared to go 3-yard run on first down, 2nd and 7, 4-yard run on second downs, 3rd and 3. Do you really believe you can run the ball 3 times in the NFL and get a first down? I mean, you got to be ballsy to do that. And when you're up 10-0 and Rodgers isn't doing anything to your defense, who cares? But when Mahomes just scored a touchdown, you go, we can't punt. We can't punt and have run the ball 3 times. I mean, everyone just would go jump out of the press box, right? I mean, what coordinator could live with himself if you didn't throw at least 1 pass and you went 3 and out? So I think they're going to go to the passing game, but the thing that worries me is I think they're going to be able to dictate when they want to throw. And they can throw to the fullback and then throw the tight end. If you throw the ball quick, safe, you're going to gain 2 yards, 1 missed tackle, fall forward. It can easily be the equivalent of a run. I don't think you need to look down and pass the ball downfield very much against the Chiefs. You run, and then you throw to the equivalent of the run and keep the chains going. And with the Niners' offense, if they can find green grass, their big plays can come into running game. They don't need to pass to have a 30-yard play or a 50-yard play. Just keep giving it to those fast backs and get them some open field, and you can get going. But I think here's what's going to happen. I think Garoppolo is going to play fake, half roll, whatever you want to say. He's going to be throwing the ball right over the head of a linebacker. And I do not trust that he will throw the ball up and over and drop it down to the tight end. If he does, then they've got 10 yards, and he's on the run, and they may have a 15-yard run, and you're going, oh, crap, they can throw the ball. Or he's liable to throw it into the hands of that linebacker, and Chiefs go, turnover. And how many turnovers do the Chiefs need to win the game? To change all my dynamics? One?
One, yeah, I was going to say 1.
So if Garoppolo makes 1 dumb throw in the game, that could take what is an even game and flip it to the Chiefs.
Let's take our time out, and we'll get into more specifics about the big game. I'm sure you're getting more and more excited as the Super Bowl approaches. Last week was about sort of soaking in the fact that the Chiefs were in the Super Bowl. Now it's game on time, and we'll talk more about it coming up next on Danny and Stan's Football Weekend.
More of Danny's Reasonably Irreverent podcast after this.
Are you thinking of starting a new business? Does your current business feel stuck? Or are you just trying to grow what you already have? Running a business is a lot of work, and it takes the right team to make it all happen. If you're looking to grow your business, call my friends Ben and Greg over at Fuego Consulting. They put together a company that can help you reach your business goals. Whether you're looking to get online, build a social media strategy, or rebrand your business, they can help. Call Fuego at 816-663-9695 or visit them online at fuegoconsulting.com. Fuego Consulting. Let's grow your business together.
Hey guys, it's Brian Haney, voice of the Jayhawks, and Matt Llewellyn from the 23rd Street Brewery. Matt, I've got a bunch of buddies coming over to watch the big game, and I need some ideas on what to cook.
Hey, let me handle it, Brian.
You're going to come over and cook for us?
For you? Maybe. But you should just let 23rd Street Brewery cater it. We could bring a big pan of Bill Self mac and cheese, wings, veggies, naked nachos, and anything else you might want.
Great. Well, you want to stick around and watch the game?
No, I've got to get back to the brewery and watch it on the big screen.
The place to get great catering and watch all the games, the 23rd Street Brewery in Lawrence.
For many people, A family law case will be one of the most difficult experiences in their life. The law firm of Kenneth McRae will help you through it. Personal and effective help from Ken in concert with you will develop a unique strategy for your unique case. As Ken always says, divorce can be civil law, not civil war. Licensed in Kansas? Visit McRaeLawOffice.com or call 913-972-4765.
If you'd like to join these and other great sponsors and market your business to a growing and engaged audience, contact us at Danny@DannyKlinkscale.com. Look forward to hearing from you. Stan, let's start off segment 2 with a simple question. I just looked at a list of it was an online thing where they rated all the players in the Super Bowl, 1 to whatever, how many there were. I think all the starters, 1 to 44. And they did rate George Kittle a few spots ahead of Travis Kelce. In your mind, either from watching football with a live eye or statistically, I think Kittle gets a few extra points for being a better blocker. But if you had a team, who would you want?
It's a very tough decision, and there's no way that I would be able to jump on the George Kittle bandwagon and say him over Travis. A lot of people want to do that. I think that's kind of the cute thing to do. I've heard of the national announcers, and they get a chance. Hey, they're getting paid a lot of money to be on a national spotlight, and it seems like they keep saying, I like Kittle the best. Love the physicality of his blocking. Love his attitude toward blocking, that he doesn't mind blocking and not catching balls. If the whole game, they only had 8 attempts.
Right.
He had almost 0 targets, 1 or 2, and he was just happy saying, I don't care. Yeah, that attitude deserves a lot of credit, but I just do not put Travis Kelce into a problematic mindset, so I don't degrade him for that. I think Kelce's a more dynamic receiver, and I'm not sure he's that much worse of a blocker. So it's a dead even, but it's hey, 51-49. Since I'm around Kansas City, I'm going with Kelce. But I don't think Travis Kelce needs to take a back seat.
Right.
If he were playing for the 49ers and asked to block a little bit more and run routes a little bit less, I think the Niners offense would look exactly like it does now. Is that a good way of saying it?
Yep. Let's talk about slowing down Patrick Mahomes. Right now it seems an impossible task. Neither the Titans nor the Texans really got much real heat on Mahomes. In some cases, they weren't really trying. The Titans were trying that, contain type of thing. The Niners have guys who really want to get after the quarterback. Do they need to have discipline? Or I think we talked about this a little bit last week. Do they just need to heat him up?
Well, I think they need to lack discipline and have variability. Variability means you have a chance to get to him. So that doesn't mean that every time D Ford's in the game or Bosa should just spin around the corner and try to beat the tackles and be a speed rush and blow things up. I'm not advocating for that at all, but I don't think you take the New England Patriots 2018 championship game philosophy, which was just a coordinated rush, powerfully pushing the line back, knowing exactly where the rest of your it's almost as if when they rushed, they were watching not Patrick, but their fellow defender. Like if you push up 2 yards, and I can go 2 yards
right,
up.
The whole goal was just to avoid the escape route.
Right, and keep him in the pocket and make him throw from the pocket. That doesn't work against Patrick Mahomes. If you bring 5 against him, that seems like it's pretty cool. I didn't overcommit in the secondary, and I got a little bit of a blitz. Maybe we can find a weakness. Patrick Mahomes' passer rating against the 5-man rush is off the charts high, like 118. No interceptions ever against a 5-man rush. So, but here's what I think. You have got to be willing to change your defense up and come from a lot of different places so that one time, every once in a while, Patrick goes, oh, crap, didn't see you coming from there, and airmails one in the stands. You see him do that once in a while.
Right.
Just once in a while, he said, or throws the ball in the dirt, and it just is not a big deal to the Chiefs because 2nd and 10, who cares?
3rd and 15, who cares?
Yeah. Just one down does not seem to bug him. But to have any chance to stop him statistically, if you can create that one time every 6 downs for Patrick where he goes, oh, abort, or he, sometimes he says, this play isn't going to work, after the snap, and he ran. Against the Texans and the Titans, he ran for positive yards. But what happens, I think this is where the Niners will change the dynamics. I think their outside pass rushers, like a Bosa, will get to him. Even though he's so athletic, they won't sack him for 7, but they might force him to either throw the ball away or take a 2-yard loss. The race to the sideline will actually be angled in a Niner way where he might just go, I'm not taking a 2-yard loss, I'm just going to toss it out of bounds. But he's not finding receivers downfield. So that's one thing. The other thing, if you ever did get to a sack, if you ever got to him, why not go for it? If you're D Ford, don't worry about the run. So they hand it to Damian Williams and they gain 15 yards. If you're a Niner, in my opinion, you don't go, we give up 15 yards of field position. You go, hey, it's 1st and 10. Let's start all over. You got to win 3 straight downs. Does that make sense? The only way to stop is to reset your mind and don't ever get demoralized. So the Chiefs started at their 20. Now they're at your 40. Who cares? If you can make 3 plays in a row and it keeps them far enough away from the first down, they don't go for 4th, you win. Every time you punt, you should do backflips off the field going, I didn't know if we'd ever force Mahomes to punt. So I think when Mahomes does punt, it's 1 down where they just get tricked. And then you got to sequence that with a couple, maybe you actually do put pressure on him. Maybe Fisher gets beat once in a while. They've been so perfect. The Chiefs' offensive line has been so perfect. But you can make a case that a Niner gets away and causes Patrick to throw the ball. And, Damian reaches down and makes only a 2-yard gain. So now it's 3rd and 8. And that's where I think the Niners are good, Danny. Basic zone coverage without it looking like basic zone coverage, with blitzes coming out like you blitz a slot. Where do you bring the guys from? Do you run a zone blitz? Make it exotic. But basically they do a good job of creating an umbrella and making it hard for you to throw passes deep. So if it's 3rd and 8, the Chiefs are likely to catch the ball before the first down marker. Can you see this in your mind's eye?
Yep.
It's caught. Does he make the extra yards? Okay, that doesn't mean that the Niners are in position to tackle him. I'm talking about Kelsey just caught it. Damian Williams just caught it. Travis Watkins just caught the pass. Travis. I don't know where I got that. Sammy Watkins just caught the ball, and he's at 5 yards upfield, and now he's got 3 to go. Can he turn, dive, step? I'm not so sure the Chiefs can't, but that's the Niners' chance. They will force Patrick Mahomes at times in this game on 3rd down to throw the ball short on the run, and then it's going to be a race to the tackle. And the Niners this year have said you're not going to throw the ball upfield and make it easy. The ball's not going to travel 20 yards in the air. Of passes that have gone 20 yards in the air or more, Patrick Mahomes is by far the best quarterback in the NFL, statistically. They don't allow the ball to fly 20 yards in the air very often. They're saying it's got to be underneath, and now it's a game of who wins the battle. What's amazing about the Chiefs is they normally win that battle too.
Right.
And that's where it's going to be frustrating as a Niner fan. Because if you do everything right and you make him throw the ball on 3rd down short of the first down, and now your linebackers are in the area, but they somehow wiggle and reach, Hill makes a move and dives past the first down marker, you're going, crap. Because to win 3 straight plays against the Chiefs is how you stop them, and it's almost impossible to win 3 straight plays. If the Chiefs win even 1 of the 3, they usually are going to make a first down. And that's what makes them lethal. It used to be the good offenses had to win 2 out of the 3.
Right.
The Chiefs are so good, they win 1 out of the 3, and they're moving the chains. And oftentimes, for you to even win 2 out of 3 is hard to do. Against them, you almost have to win 3 out of 3. So, does that make sense? If I were the Niners, you got to mix the defenses up. You got to come from everywhere. Slot blitz, corner blitz, fire a linebacker up the middle, drop a defensive end, rush 5, only rush 4, play man, play zone, play different kinds of zones. But at the end of the day, they hope to have the Chiefs once in a while in 3rd and 7 or 8 and be able to rush 4, play coverage, and then can they tackle him short of the first down? Because they're going to force Patrick, because he can't stand in the pocket forever. I'll give you that. The Niners are not going to allow him to stand in the pocket forever. So he's going to abort. He's going to say, time's up. I wish I could hit Travis Kelsey at that 15-yard route, but it's just not there. Boom. Damian, you got it. You got 5 yards. Get me 3 more. And if the Chiefs win that battle, then they're going to win the game.
Special teams in this game, the Chiefs have had an unusually bad year of special teams. And it seems in this game, if we think it's going to be such a close game, that a good kickoff return, a good punt return, a blocked kick. The Chiefs have allowed 3 blocked punts this year. That's a million in the NFL these days.
That's more than a whole career for the longest tenured Chief ever. I don't think he probably has had 3 blocked up to this point in his career.
Right. That's probably
true. Seriously.
Yeah.
We can go look at the stats, but it may be true. And he's what, the longest tenured Chief?
Yeah.
Dustin Colquitt?
Yep.
Played more games than any Chief in history? You shouldn't get 1 blocked every 5 years.
Right. So that's got to be a concern. And the other part is, if the other team's special teams coach, I mean, it's empowering for a special teams, isn't it? You could use the K-State example. There's no reason K-State should be that good on special teams every single year. I mean, yeah, okay, great coaching, whatever. But part of it is the fact, well, we do it. This is what we do. And so if they know the Chiefs have had 3 kicks blocked, that's problematic.
It can be, but I'm not worried about special teams. I think Chiefs have the advantage in that they're more likely to say, let's turn the worlds upside down with a kickoff return.
Right.
Right now, the kickoff return's pretty much been taken out of football, but I think the Chiefs are even willing to say, 6 yards deep, let's see what happens. Let's roll the dice. I talked about being aggressive, overly aggressive by the Niners. I think will have a good effect for them, a positive possibility in changing the odds of them winning. And I think the Chiefs bringing it out, even if you get tackled at the 12, who cares?
Right, you've got Patrick Mahomes.
Who cares? You got Patrick Mahomes.
They're over 50% on 90-plus yard possessions.
Yeah, over 50%,
yes,
including the playoffs. So I say Hardman turned that game around. Patrick Mahomes played perfectly. Everyone else played awful against the Texans. It was just the spark of the kickoff return. So I think the Chiefs had an advantage here. But here's something, Danny, that I want you to think about. A little bit of a dynamic that could be a boomerang. And you're a great reference point. So here's the boomerang possibility. The Niners' ability to make long field goals is highly questionable. Does that empower the Niners? If you're thinking from a Chiefs perspective,
right?
You know, my danger factor. Does it make it more dangerous that they're probably going to go for 4th down in situations where NFL teams shoot a 52-yarder through? Or will they also line up to hit a 52-yarder because they're an NFL team and they miss it and give you the ball at the 42? I don't know how to take this. This is a question in my mind. I think the Niners are weak at hitting long field goals. So their scoring area has changed. Good. You know, they have to get further downfield. But the bad thing is about the Niners is give their offense 4 downs. When they know they get to your 40, they have 4 downs, and they can run
it 4
that
times.
Scares me.
Right.
So
because your example before was, will they run it 3 straight downs and not afford? Well, first of all, in this scenario, they're at the 42, Chiefs 42. They know they're going for it.
Right. We are going to go for 4 downs.
At the 34, we're going for it. We're not kicking a 52-yard field goal or 51, whatever.
It's 52. You're right.
Back 7 or 8.
They're 8 right
Some
now.
Teams
it's 8. Everyone's 8 right now.
Everyone's pretty much 8. So that does change that scenario.
So that scares me because I could see them saying we're going to go for 4th down, and I'd rather they go out and just get 3 points, even if they make it. What I don't want them to do is get another 1st down.
And spend 3 more minutes doing it.
And then score a touchdown.
Right.
And go, why did they do that? You know, it was 4th and 2. That you don't make 4th and 2 in the NFL. And they go, we can't rely on our kicker. I mean,
and it's just an interesting phenomenon because Robbie Gould's been a great kicker in his career, but he's either getting old or he had some physical limitations early in the year, whatever. And so the proof is he's missed 6 kicks this year. So you're right.
So if I were talking to their coach, they may laugh you off the stage on tonight's, you get Monday night's big event. They may laugh and go, we're going to kick a field goal. Our guy's going to make a 52-yarder. The conditions are going to be perfect. What are you talking about? We have total confidence in our kicker. I'm almost hopeful that that's the mindset they have.
Right.
We're an NFL team. It's 52-yarder. We got a pro. He's a well-known guy. Kick it. I'm telling you, Danny, he isn't so reliable, and he might just miss it. And if he does, I'll just be laughing, and all my buddies will be going, I don't know. Then it doesn't surprise me. Let's go. Our ball at the 42. But if the Niners calculate in their head what I think, doesn't mean I'm right, but what I think, if we got the ball at the 42, we're the Niners brass right now. We're calling the plays, Danny, and you're the offensive coordinator. I'm the head coach. You go, Danny, you got 4 downs.
Right.
You have 4 downs. And I think that makes the Niners more dangerous because the more that they are willing to hand off the ball, I've said this all year long, the more you're willing to hand off the football, even in the face of odds that say you shouldn't or analytics, when you're the opponent of the Chiefs, you better have success running the football. You better stick with it. And if you lose running too much, so what? You were going to lose anyway if you start passing too much, because the Chiefs they'll eat you up if you try to pass down after down with Patrick Mahomes. That's not the game. We're going to pass, you're going to pass? No, the Chiefs are going to win. You got to say, Chiefs are going to score, we're going to run. Chiefs are going to score, we're going to run. And have the guts to stick with it. And I happen to think Shanahan has the guts to stick with it and has a good plan and has good backs, and that's what makes him dangerous.
Okay, it's time. It's Monday. You have the right to change your mind, but as of this Monday, when people are listening to it, and they can, little plug, they can tune in on Friday on Sports Radio 810 WHP and see if anything's changed, but you've had 8 days now to analyze this game. Where are you going with it?
I'm going to say 33-30 Chiefs. But like I said, sometimes you add confidence level onto that, and I think it's a more toss-up game than you can ever imagine. So I'm 55% confident the Chiefs come out ahead, but I do feel comfortable with the guess that both teams are going to score, that both teams are going to find ways to score on the other. The only factor we have to factor in is in the Super Bowl. For some reason, they see the end of the line like they're falling off the cliff, and the first leg that starts hanging over the cliff, for some reason, they think their body's already, that I've lost my balance. You've seen Super Bowls.
Oh, yeah.
People
freak out.
They freak out, and the score gets extrapolated. I mean, so many times. I don't need to go through all the times where, unless the New England Patriots are there, they always seem to play close games. But so many times one team gets the momentum and the other just goes, we're not going to win, and then lose their head and play bad. That factor, don't get me wrong, the Chiefs could roll and separate because of complete panic by the Niners. But I'm not going to go down that path. I think both teams have tough-minded coaches, that they both deserve to be there. They're Super Bowl-level winning teams. Therefore, I'm not going to go with any craziness. So Chiefs have a 55% chance to win, Niners 45, and I'll go Chiefs 33-30.
Stan, always a pleasure. Enjoy the ballgame.
Okay, thanks.
This podcast was made possible by our great sponsors like Easton Roofing, the presenting sponsor of Kansas City Profiles at the Danny Klingscale Reasonably Irreverent podcast. Easton Roofing, where integrity matters. We hope you enjoyed the latest Danny Klingscale Reasonably Irreverent podcast. Come back soon for something fresh and new.